We've had a good week so far. Our focus this week has been on trying to become more consistent, which we're always working towards, eliminate some of the errors that have held us back from reaching our potential, some of the penalties, and I think that they've grasped it. I mean, it's just a constant process, trying to get better, trying to reach consistency, trying to eliminate those things that hold you back. I think every team faces it, and for some reason, we've got a rash of it lately. Fortunately, we found a way to win the last couple of games and work through it, but a game like this, you just can't afford to have those things. And so I've really, like always, impressed it upon them, but this week even put, I think, just an increased sense of urgency on it. And I get the feeling through the 3 days of practice we've had that they're very focused. They understand what it's going to take to win this game. They understand the challenge in front of them. They have great respect for Arizona and what they've been able to do. And I think they're excited about going out on Saturday night and putting it on display and seeing if we can improve and correct some of the things that have held us back. So positive is we're 6-2, and we do have a lot of room for improvement. The critical thing is that we improve. So that's what we're going to work really hard at, or we have worked really hard at, and hopefully it pays off on Saturday night.
How do you put extra urgency on stuff like that?
Well, we always, there's nothing that we don't, that's important to winning and losing, we don't emphasize. I mean, we don't let things go. It's just impressing upon them that it's going to take just a little bit more than maybe we've given. We've got to find the next level. When you think you've given enough, you've got to give a little more. You're working with young guys that a lot of times things have come very easy for these kids, and now they're facing some things that aren't as easy. Better, bigger, faster athletes on the other side. A more demanding environment in terms of school and social aspect, and so just being able to help them mature and understand what it's going to take, 24/7 to reach what we're trying to reach it's a challenge. It's a challenge every day, and you hope that every day if you keep emphasizing it, you keep working on it, that it takes hold eventually. It seems to be.
That have a lot to do with focus and not letting things drift.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day, is that this generation is so easily distracted because of all the access to the internet and Facebook and Twitter. And I mean, when we were kids, you had to think about stuff, And nowadays, I don't know that kids have to think about things for as long as we used to have to and process them. So my point to them is put that stuff away and think about what we're doing here. Don't go immediately to the distraction. We have a practice. Think about what just happened in the practice instead of going and picking up your phone and looking at the latest Instagram photos. And so that's a challenge with this generation. And I think they're doing it. I think they understand. I think it's gradual. You build it. But I think they're starting to understand it. I hope they are.
You have to go through that again. A shiny object went by and you lost these two guys.
I did.
I was going to say, thinking sounds pretty hard.
Thinking?
I don't know.
No, but I think you guys understand what I mean is that, you watch kids today. I watch my own kids, and in the middle of a conversation with them, they're looking at their phone. They're doing that, and we didn't do that. We used to focus in and talk and comprehend and then put things into action. And so that's a battle. I'm sure that every college coach in America, every teacher in America faces the same thing. And so, when you have a goal, you have to keep your eyes focused squarely on that goal, and you have to think about it. And you have to put those thoughts into a plan and then that plan into action. And it's just impressing that upon 18, 19, 20-year-old kids how important that is. And it's they're getting it. It just doesn't happen overnight. We're working hard at it. I think we're making inroads. I hope we are. I haven't taken their phones away yet. I can't do that. That just wish I could. So
maybe text them the message that you want.
And Tracy, that's interesting because I do. I text them constantly during the day. I'll send them messages. I'll send them videos. I'll send them thoughts, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's a way to get in there. Maybe they'll sit there and they'll read it and they'll comprehend it. Maybe rather than asking them to change into my way, maybe we meet halfway. So I've been very active with that.
Now, as a coach, when you've said, take it to another level before, how do you kind of change that message so it does sink in rather than just repeating it again?
I think you keep the same message, but you try to change the way you deliver it. So like you said, like I text them more now, or I send them videos that have messages in there that I'm trying to get across, because maybe someone else can do it in a better way than I can. And there's going to be a percentage of them that think it's hokey, and then there's going to be a percentage of them that embrace it, you know. But I know that they're very interactive, and so if there's some music they like with a message inside of it, maybe that's a way to get in there, you know. I'm still working hard to try to figure out this age group in terms of the competitor. Heck, I'm trying to figure out my own kids, so you are, yeah, you know. You don't.
Not yet.
You are that kid. You guys don't.
Have you changed how you approach penalties over the last 2.5 years? In terms of teaching them and trying to get them to...
Yeah, we've emphasized it more. We brought more officials out. And you know what? Before Saturday, we made huge improvements. And then when you put 14 down on paper, whether they were, legitimate calls or they were, fabricated, they still count. And so that kind of plummeted us down a little bit, but we've made improvements. And I think a lot of that is getting guys that are gaining experience in the scheme so they understand it better. So there's less thought and more reaction. Improving technique, so their feet are in the right position so they don't have to reach and grab and maybe get a hold. And then as you get a higher caliber of athlete, I think a lot of times you're able to see a decrease in penalties as well, because they don't have to cheat to win as much. So it's all those things, and we're working hard at it. But I think there's been improvement. Obviously, that's hard to say after last week, but overall, through the course of the year, I think there's been improvement.
Do you change up practice at all? Any technique, any
No,
drill?
we always put a huge emphasis on technique. We don't let penalties go in practice. We don't gloss anything over. The stress of the game affects some more than others, and the opponent that they're going against affects some more than others. The environment that they're in affects some more than others. When you're going against a really good football player, and he gets a step on you, and you're trying to protect your quarterback, sometimes you might do something that you shouldn't do. And so then it goes back to, okay, we got playing a really good football player. You got to be exacting in your technique. You can't be a fraction of a second late off the ball. Your footwork's got to be precise. Your hands have got to be in the right spot. Your eyes have got to be in the right spot. And so, to me, it's just constant repetition on those things. Constant repetition with these kids and getting them to the point where they become consistent doing it. And it is a process. It does take some time, and we need to show improvement. Like I said, we have shown improvement in penalties. Last week was not good.
How much of what you guys want to do on defense relies on the front seven staying disciplined against that offense where there's all the options?
It's critical. I mean, it's everything. It really is. We're not like a mush-it-up defense. We just kind of mush it up there and hope it works. We have responsibilities for every player on every play, and it's important that they execute those responsibilities. And to me, alignment, assignment, and effort are non-compromising. Those are things that they have to take responsibility for. We have to do a great job of teaching them. We have to do a great job of coaching them out here. We have to be very demanding. But on game day, they have to take responsibility for aligning correctly, executing their assignment, and playing with uncompromising effort. At times, you're going to get beat, but it can't be because you aligned wrong or you missed an assignment or you didn't try hard. And I think if you can get that across to them, then you've got a chance to make huge strides. Okay? All right.